Britt, I should have known you were trying to come out here and steal my spotlight. But unlike Chicago and like you, I want you to get a real good look at what a real star looks like.
All in. All in, Mercedes. I wrestled at the first All In right here in Chicago. I was the first female to go all in on All Elite Wrestling by signing my name on that contract. I wrestled at All In last year at Wembley Stadium when your ass was looking like a broken bitch with a broken leg in the stands. So I want to face you at All In.
Britt, I'm never broke. I stay rich. And since I am a double champion, there is a long list of girls who are waiting in the back. So you need to get in the back of the line, bitch.
Bitch, what line?
Mikey boy, I'm gonna need you to announce me properly.
It's Michael, but nonetheless, Chelsea Green has been, I can't do the Samantha thing. Chelsea Green!
The 2025 Royal Rumble will be my last. The 2025 Elimination Chamber will be my last. And I'm here tonight to announce that in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 2025 will be the last WrestleMania I compete in. I know.
What the hell? God! Holy cow! Holy shit! It's CM Punk! CM Punk is here! Punk is here! Punk is here! CM Punk! Punk is beating the hell! Beat the hell out of McIntyre! Punk's returning the favor! This is a receipt from Chicago! Punk in a steel chair is destroying McIntyre! And there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match! Evans tricks up the page. We don't know what the? What the hell? Here's your winner and the new NXT champion. Wow.
Name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Good wrestling day to everyone out there except Wheezy. Just kidding, man. Hey, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one spoil in their life. Welcome back to the Top of Wrestling Podcast. I am the Professor, Mark Fantasia, welcoming you to another episode in the very soon-to-be ending Season 5. Ladies and gentlemen, ODM.
My mother spoiled something for me once.
goes, I'm so sorry, man. Max and I were real excited in, I think in Rhode Island or something like that. I go, everybody gets one.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to mute some people. The best one really was after Wrestle Kingdom, like over a decade ago now, when Okada finally beat Tanahashi, and one dude just Facebook messages me at 8 a.m. Like I was going to be watching it. And he wrote, Okada! And I wrote, cunt!
It's still not as bad as the Nightwing one. I love you, Nightwing, but that was still epic. I don't even remember what the event was.
It was my birthday. Motherfucker, it was on my birthday, the FTR Briscoes match. Actually, Jay Briscoe's final goddamn match. Yeah. Anyway, we got, I'm actually going to be talking about that match. Not necessarily that match, but that reign when we get to talking about Dynamite this week. But we are going to be talking about news we got to bring to the table. We got our Reliving Monday Night Wars 25 years later with Bash at the Beach 99. Oh, we are only 1 year away from the epic pin. I mean, this is worse than the finger poke of doom. Watching a wrestling company fight with each other on live pay-per-view.
I want to tell you right now, the Nitro the night after was better than the pay-per-view.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hands down.
Probably is, but... Well, and we also have our top topic, which is movies that we refuse to watch. And there's not going to be an agreement like we together refuse to watch us. It's just movies on each end that we refuse to dive into, whether it's sagas or standalone movies. But first, let's talk about what happened this past weekend. It was Money in the Bank. Remember last week I said, you got 15 matches versus 5, with AEW versus WWE. Look, I will say maybe Money in the Bank wasn't the absolute very best show that they could have produced, but I was entertained. And let me dive into some of the things. First, the night before, they obviously had SmackDown, but earlier in the day is where they do those press conferences. And Triple H brought a little girl on stage, and it got the whole crowd chanting her name, which was cool. She goes, "Can I hug Michael Cole?" And Triple H goes, "Literally nobody wants to hug Michael Cole, ever." But then, while the women were out there, all the women that were in the Money in the Bank thing, you probably heard in the very beginning, Chelsea Green was like, "No, you got to introduce me the right way, Mikey." And he goes, "Chelsea!" He tried doing it, and oh my God, it was hysterical just watching that. I really thought she was going to win. The crowd was behind her. I think they wanted her to win. The sick bump that she took from the top of the ladder. Oh my God. And I'll quote Lil Jon on this. I don't think I actually ever gave him credit for this on air. He introduced a match to the both of us that neither of us had ever seen, which was Penta versus Chelsea Green when it was a different persona in Lucha Underground. This girl's not afraid to take a hard-ass bump. She played the part of, I'm scared of heights. That bump was the shit. It was awesome. Some good moments in the women's match. As soon as they opened with the men's Money in the Bank, I said Drew's winning. 100%, because...
Got to get it out of the way.
And he called his shot. He said, I'm going to win the world championship that night. How this was ruined for me is just one word: punk. That's all Weezy wrote, was punk. And right there in my head I go, so Drew won the briefcase and tried to cash in. I'm going to go with that. And God damn it. It was interesting because right before it, you could put blame in a lot of different areas, but the botch pin with Damian Priest not kicking out, and there's the talk of, was Drew's music supposed to hit? Because if you notice, the lights come on bright right after that not near 3 count, the very solid 2 only. But it's funny because Triple H said it, and a lot of people end up saying it after. All anybody remembers is the finish, right? That's what you remember. Or if something bad happens. You could see it on Drew's face. He just defeated Drew McIntyre, or not Drew, Damian Priest. You could see it on his face. He defeated Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Should have been like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm the champ, yeah. He literally, the first thing he did after a pin, you just saw him go, fuck. And he looked pissed and defeated, and I'm like, and everybody's like, oh, this is the second botch by Damian Priest, at PLEs. What happened to him in the rope at that Clash at the Castle was not his fault. That was, I mean, well, I don't know if necessarily it was his fault. I've seen him do that move 100 times.
Exactly.
He's botching. It's just shit happens. That's how I look at it for that one. Now, the other botch that people are talking heavily about was Tongaloa, where he goes to give a low blow to Kevin Owens, but Kevin walked forward just a touch too much, and he ends up basically punching him directly in the asshole, and then had to go forward again to give him the low blow. Everybody's like, oh, there he is. That's another botch by Tongaloa, because he botches his debut and this. I don't put this one on him. Owens walked forward just as he was ready to hit it. I think it was just a perfect accident.
Yeah, there's a... So I saw a video, comparing it. It was the end of a clip, because there's a bunch of other shit in New Japan where he is not...
I know which one you're talking about, where he goes to do like a 619 and just falls on the ropes.
There's just like... It's
him
a
with
compilation.
Okada. It's bad.
It's bad, but it's hilarious, and it's great timing because... And I don't remember. I think it's during Bash 99 that we're about to talk about. We get a similar situation.
We do.
Where somebody goes 100%. To crotch somebody, say that now. Whiffs, has to do it again.
I love that. Jericho's done that several times where he goes to do like the running bulldog, and he missed like Randy Orton one time and just went, and he had to go redo the run, the whole thing again. Punk showing up was awesome. I dug the shoes. The Pride shoes, man, they were just different. Did you see the video online of him grappling with Jessica, the referee?
No.
And security comes running over. It looked like it was a fan fighting on the ref, and it was him grappling with her on the ground for just a minute after everybody left the area, and it was like dark, and he just pops up. Random video. I think he's just having a good time.
Oh, definitely.
But now he is suspended, and Drew was fined and suspended. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Punk was fined. Drew is suspended. And then he even got more time tacked on because he kept talking more shit on social media earlier today to Adam Pearce, who he punched.
And did you see Karrion Kross's response?
Yeah, you should really check in on Kofi. I saw him swearing at kids. Karrion Kross is becoming relevant again.
Trying.
It took years to happen.
He's trying.
Do you remember his 2-minute matches where he came out dressed like with that weird like mask and he fought Jeff Hardy like 3 weeks in a row in a total of 6 minutes in matches? Yeah. Now at least we're somewhere. The other piece of the puzzle is Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah.
His reaction, I told you to stay out of my shit. And people are like, oh, maybe it's going to be a triple threat at SummerSlam. It may as well be at this point. Or I think what's going to happen, Seth doesn't like Drew. Drew doesn't like Seth. Seth doesn't like Punk. Punk really doesn't give a fuck about either one. I bet you Seth becomes the special referee for their match at SummerSlam.
Could be interesting. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Are you surprised? Were you happy with the chain of events of Drew winning, trying to cash in, failing by Punk interfering? Because we basically
100%.
talked about that. That's basically what we called, right?
100% is what we called.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, oh, what a waste, man.
Yeah.
You wasted the money in the bank. But let me say this. Damian held it goddamn like 9 months. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've also seen people hold it and they had nothing to do for them. Do you want them to put it on Jey Uso just to lose? Do you want them to put it on Carmelo just for him to lose? Because your upcoming champions is 100% Gunther. And unless you're cashing in on Cody, which I can't see Cody dropping it in a cash in. I mean, anything could happen, but no, man, I actually am 100% okay with that.
Absolutely.
The only thing I didn't like out of the outcome of the entire pay-per-view was I wanted Chelsea Green to win, not Stratton. Oh wait, I'm sorry, no, Braun Breaker. Yeah, that was a letdown.
We'll get to that in a second, but I agree with you because Money in the Bank's been around so long, it's so convoluted. They've run out of things to do with it. This is perfect because you're furthering the hottest angle and storyline of the last year.
And they haven't locked up. I mean, they've hit each other, but we haven't had a bell. And it's funny how many people are like, oh, they're going to, because Bad Blood's coming back. You saw that commercial where they did the Atlanta thing with Cody. It's pretty funny, actually. But everybody's like, oh, what if it's a Hell in a Cell? Punk doesn't want that. He just wants just one wrestling match is all we need between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll likely go to a double DQ or some stupid shit, which is fine. This, to me, is like waiting for Austin to finally lock up with Triple H after Triple H is the one that ran him down with the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, when they finally meet, it's going to be badass. And that match, if I'm not mistaken, ended in no contest because he ended up dropping him off of a fucking forklift with a car. So, I mean, like, it could go multiple ways. We'll get to Braun Breaker in 1 second. Well, fuck it. We'll just talk about it right now. Why? Why did Sammy need that win?
Sammy has now beaten Gunther and Braun Breaker cleanly.
Yeah.
Beaten two of the biggest up-and-coming legit threat heels. Clean. Why?
I don't get it.
Sammy Hogan?
Shit out of me, just so you know. Sammy Hogan. Oh Jesus, he was Sammy Uso. Now he's Sammy Hogan. The other big thing that came out of Solo pinned Cody Rhodes. Does Solo face Cody at SummerSlam? Is that what we're looking to see?
Cody face who?
Solo. Be the perfect place to debut Talatanga.
Right.
If you can get all the bloodline banned from ringside, you say the words, you're not allowed to have Tamatanga, Tangaloa, or Jacob Fatu at ringside. But you didn't say anything about Talatanga.
Hikuleo. I'm trying to think here. I mean, I guess it depends. Is Reigns going to come back at SummerSlam?
That could be pretty big. I don't know. Honestly, I almost wanted to see an RKO out of nowhere.
Right.
I want to see Orton and Cody. But you can hold it if you want, because if you're going to have Roman come back, you have Cody and Solo fight, Roman comes back, and you start to have them start to fight with each other. Maybe you hold Randy and Cody to Survivor Series.
That actually would work. Give that time to marinate a little bit, right? Because Randy is so over, and it's so easy for Randy to go back and forth. I'm not saying he's like the Big Show or anything, but he's got that ability to be over with the fans, but turn on them in a second. So I think the turn would be a good thing. SummerSlam, you could do it then, and let it marinate on to Survivor Series.
One person I'd like to see him face, sadly enough, because 2009 they had like 44 matches between TV and pay-per-view, but John Cena is set for his retirement tour, and it's going to be all of 2025. It's funny how he worded it at the pay-per-view or the PLE. He's like, Royal Rumble 2025 will be my last, Elimination Chamber will be my last, and WrestleMania will be my last. And it made it sound like he's going to retire at WrestleMania.
Right.
But then the press conference later, he said that he's going to be doing about 30 to 40 dates, and this is basically going to end, his in-ring career will end December of 2025.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't mind seeing him lock up with a couple of people. Him versus Gunther would just be the big thing. You know what I mean? Making it look like he's going for that 17th title reign. Could he break Flair's record? I'd like to see him with Orton. I think him and Punk could probably go put on another good match with each other because they're both older now. It could be a different match. I think it's going to be... It's interesting to see that he's actually going to be doing 30 to 40 dates. I bet they're not all wrestling. I'm sure a lot of them are just like promo appearances, like SmackDown doesn't have to wrestle. But either way, I got to be honest with you, man. It felt, and you've probably seen the memes out there. You see little baby Homer Simpson watching John Cena come out to Kurt Angle, and then you see him now, Homer Simpson older, watching him announce his retirement, Money in the Bank, and I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, in a weird way, went, oh my God, this is an end of an era. I can't believe John Cena's going to stop wrestling. And I go, for as many years that everyone shit on him, and I'll be honest with you, I think I've said this on the show. Maybe I didn't. I never really had a major issue with him. Sometimes when you're hearing other people bitch so much, you just kind of fall in line.
Sure.
That boy hated the fucking balls out of him.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Don't get me started about that boy. He posted something saying, oh, this is the worst match, worst booked Money in the Bank, even since the Vince days.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he really has become a fucking mark with just like Dickhead Dave.
Worst Money in the Bank? How about the one that you let Otis win just to let Miz take the goddamn briefcase to pass it over to fucking Bobby Lashley?
There you go.
Fuck it. Anyway. So, I'm actually going to be... I'm not going to say it's like Undertaker where you're like, wow, I'm not crying, you're crying when Undertaker was retiring, but this is kind of up there, man, to see him going and calling it quits. But good for him, man. I mean, he's doing good in Hollywood. Stay safe. You know what the best part is about Ethan Page? He didn't have to sit in catering this past weekend. He actually became the NXT fucking champion. Bro, we were like, I'm just going to watch a match to see what they do. I thought maybe Shawn Spears. The fact that Ethan Page, the guy who didn't even win that Rumble or that Battle Royal, ends up getting the title shot, gets in there, wins the fucking championship.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the finish was great, too, because it's a screwy finish, too.
Yeah.
So, and he's hyping up.
Accidental finish, basically.
Yep. And Spears selling on the ground afterwards was fucking great.
He looked defeated. Like, sad. And it's funny because Nightwing, he goes, did you guys see that? It was a dusty finish. No, I don't think you understand the terms of what a dusty finish is. A dusty finish means that you have a champion for a minute and then the match gets restarted or reversed or whatever it is.
Right. And typically
Page went off the air
right.
with the championship.
And typically that only applies. I mean, we have used that term for when that happens to heels. Really, it's meant for like when a face wins the title and
face wins.
Yep, and 2 seconds later, like, nah, you can't. No, you that's a DQ. You know, and they take it back.
Chris Jericho beating Triple H in 2000, prime example.
Yep, yeah.
Commercial break, you come back, title was reversed. But the pay-per-view didn't go off air with just Ethan Page. They fade, and all of a sudden you see the quick turnaround of Joe Henry in front of the white screen. Oh, Joe Hendry, sorry. And then, boom, done.
You got to think
Yes.
they're going to sign him soon, like officially.
They're going to sign him, and Ethan Page is a fucking heel. Mm-hmm. They're going to put the dude right into the world title match.
Yep.
I would. He's that over?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. It's funny because I saw a great video the other day. Pop a balloon when you feel like the song can't get any better than this. And you hear the glass break, and it's Joe Hendry song, and everybody pops the balloons. Douchey Dave gave his ratings for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. He gives Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. 4.5 and gave Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland 5.5. 5 stars or more, Will Ospreay now has 39 ranked matches from Dave Meltzer with 5 or more stars. And I don't think that was the match of the night. I still think it was Orange and Zack Sabre.
And Kurt Angle has how many?
Exactly. Did you get a chance to watch the behind the scenes?
No, and it took me a while. It kept popping up on Peacock, but I was watching the Wars, so it took me a while to realize that's where the meme came from. Because I saw you post one on our page, and it was fucking great.
So the thing that's going around is because basically in there, Rock says, "Oh, I gotta be honest with you, Triple H. Cody's got to be the one to be in the main event." And it's like, motherfucker, the crowd is the one that did that whole thing or whatever. They're making it seem like how they turned this whole story. Fine, you did it for this documentary, but there was a lot more bullshit to the back, and you could see Cody looking really beat up, and he's like, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, and he wasn't acting. But Rock going, and I went to Triple H and I said, that's what we need to do. Well, this meme blew the fuck up. That yes, I did the one, and I went to ODM and the professor and said, you guys need to start a podcast. Here's a couple of my favorite ones. I told Drew to win the Money in the Bank and waste everyone's time. Holding a solid loaf of bread, and I said, we should slice this shit. Right? Yeah, it takes a second for that one. I told Mickey James to do that licking gesture after touching Trish's crotch. I told Vince to shit on her head.
Oh, that might be the most accurate one.
Yeah, right? I told TK to start AEW. I told him to air the all-in security footage. I told Hulk to body slam Andre the Giant. And this one was my favorite. I told Hunter, that name is way too long. You should just be called Triple H. I'm not going to lie. It was really, I'm loving the memes. They're coming out left and right. Keep them going. And I see you have one piece of news here before we head into more. What do you got?
Something I just happened to see right before we started recording. So on Heat Wave, there was a match between Kalani Jordan, I think that's how you say it, versus Sol Ruka. Excuse me. Sol Ruka, one of the high-flying women of NXT. Got a really cool finisher. It's one of those things, though, that she has to hit it perfect for it to look good, and it's one of those moves that's going to be hard to hit perfect all the time, but she definitely has some talent, and it seems like she's getting a good push. But they basically had an Ospreay Ricochet match. I think that's the best way to put it.
It's almost to a T when you look at it, too.
It was side by side, yep. And on the Observer, podcast, whatever, with Alvarez and Dickie Dave, they basically just ran it down, saying it wasn't a match. It was what was it? What did they say? A fucking gymnastics routine. It was an athletic display, not a wrestling match. And listen, they're actually accurate with that. You can say that. That's fine. The problem
that's who
is
he gives his rankings to.
Yeah, the problem is how come when it's the Young Bucks or Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega doing the same thing, you break the scale.
Mm-hmm. In this, you probably gave him like a 2 or a 3 because it was a gymnastics.
I gave him
routine,
a 1,
which is all every Will Ospreay match is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's an exception here and there. The ones against Omega were pretty hard hitting, or at least the first one.
Sure,
but for the most part.
But I'm just saying, like he's an acrobat display.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
and it's funny how you said the same thing. But when it's your buddies, you're breaking the system.
Well, you've got all that young buck in them.
Like in them.
Well,
speaking of Dynamite,
oh, there we go. I'll plug it in. Here we okay. Anyway, so on Dynamite this past week, I mentioned earlier Mark Briscoe with him and Jay winning the tag titles. It was the 13th tag title win in Ring of Honor for them. I got to be honest with you, I haven't really been paying attention to him because I feel like he's just a comedy shtick most of the time.
Yep.
But I watched him cut a promo because he is the first entrant for Team AEW as your Ring of Honor champion, but we'll get there another day. For Blood and Guts. The dude put on a solid promo. It was really good, to be honest with you. And he has a giant 13 in solid black tattooed on his neck. Same side, same like Cody with his neck tattoo. And I was like, I didn't even notice that, but that's kind of cool that he has that 13 there. And I was like, obviously that was done post that, but it was good to see him actually cut a promo as a solo person. Like I said, I've only ever really known him as just kung fu, being funny, karate, like how he does that little shtick. I'm like, but okay, he's going to be your first entrant. But then following that, Jungle Boy came out and attacked him, and then out came the Acclaimed, out came the Elite. I think it's going to end up being probably Briscoe in the Acclaimed, and they have to have 5. This may be the worst Blood and Guts match ever, and that's nothing against Briscoe because he's the only one I'm like, oh, he'll bleed like a motherfucker for you. You want Blood and Guts, that's the guy. Guy in the front row, a white guy in the front row, is wearing a black shirt that said Big Black and Jacked. I have to know where he got that. I may need that shirt. I hate fans sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times, actually, with your chants. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it may have been Bully Ray or someone else. They don't like the terms, you deserve it, or, you know what I mean? He's like, there's a difference. You have to earn it. Deserving is something else, but you earned it is what makes the difference. And so that's why I hate when crowds chant that. This is awesome nonstop. But if someone is doing a very passionate promo, like the night that Jon Moxley came back, look, we could shit on him, his cutting and all that. But his first night back after rehab, and someone was like, "Get that fucking guy out of the ring." Even we were like, "What the fuck, dude? Why would you? What the like?"
Right.
Jesus. At least Moxley was like, "Get that piece of shit out of here." And he was like, "What the fuck? Get that piece of shit out of here," which was amazing. But Britt Baker's trying to tell her thing, and you cannot tell what someone was saying. There's like just one jackass that was just saying something. And then you hear someone else go, "Shut the fuck up," like talking back to the guy. And I was like, someone take him out. What the fuck? And I'm not talking security. Like, someone throat punch this fucking dude. Britt Baker had a great promo talking about no matter what, when she was hurt, I look in the mirror and I say, "You're okay. You're okay." Everything that she was talking about, but then she was having a lot of problems where she was having trouble holding things, lifting things. She had basically a mini stroke. And then she brought it back to, she goes, and I went to the mirror and I go, "Okay, you're not okay." And I was like, this is a real promo. And some cunt in the stands has to say something like that, right? But I texted you because I sent you the promo, and I know you said you didn't get a chance to see it, but go back to 2019, Britt Baker, she would have fucking fumbled and probably walked off.
Yep.
This, whoever was yelling, did not faze this chick 1 ounce. She was going solid. The whole promo, she blocked everything out, man. She didn't hear anything and was telling her story. Probably because you can't phase me. It's my fucking story. It's not a scripted promo, but
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, then she had a mini
But
stroke,
it was-
so, she probably had a hard time hearing.
Right. Well, Jesus Christ. Was that you in the stands?
No, it most certainly was not.
But you looked like you had something to say a second ago. You had your hand up.
No, it's just, I remember that first heel promo she cut, I think, with Shivani, and they were like where they were next to the pool.
At the top of the stage.
And then she turned it around great, but yeah, it is just shitty, but it's cool to see her back and see her doing her thing. Wasn't she the one that you weren't you yelling at her the one show you were at, and she turned around and flipped you off or something, or was that somebody else? I thought you did.
No,
it
that
to
was
Britt.
Nia Jax.
Oh, okay. I thought you
that
did
was
it to Britt too.
Nia, where I kept yelling Nia. Oh no, wait.
It was her.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
did yell. I said something about Adam Cole and some shit like that. I go, "You have a really small husband," whatever the fuck it was. You're right. Oh my god, good call. That was in Fort Myers. But she then turns it to Sasha Monet, Mercedes Banks. Doesn't matter. Same gimmick.
Yep.
She starts saying, someone who's saying that they're the face of this place, and I gave everything to it. And then she goes, "And you think you're the face? She didn't call her boss, but she goes, CEO. She goes, you had to have the chants piped into your entrance music." Even I was like, "Oh, she went there." And then probably the best thing I've seen Mercedes do, she actually did pretty decent heel promo work with Britt. Obviously all very, very well rehearsed. But when Mercedes said, she goes, "And I've been here, this amount of time, blah, blah, blah. You need to get in line." When Britt got in her face, because she goes, "Bitch, you need to get in line." And Britt goes, "Bitch," and does a quick look behind her. And I was like, weird. And then she looks back, she goes, "What line?" And I go, "Oh shit, Britt is on fucking fire tonight. Oh my God." Britt challenged her for All In. She declined, of course. But I think that's what we're leading to, is a match at All In. I'm more into that exact fucking storyline right there already, more than anything AEW is doing right now. I'm all in on Britt Baker, no pun intended, because of the match. But it's just, dude, she came back solid. And I was like, I missed you. Oh my God, I didn't think I would miss having Britt Baker around.
Right? Yeah, listen, I still don't think I feel like her in-ring work could still be improved upon. But
anybody's can.
I think she's better than Sasha or Mercedes. I saw a list, and I don't even know who compiled it. It might have just been a fan thing, but it was like the 10 best women's wrestlers of like the last year, or maybe 2024 up to this point. Monet was number 4. I'm like, what kind of crack are you smoking? She shouldn't even be in the top 10.
Her claim to fame is her cousin is Snoop.
Yeah, pretty much. And she had like 18 matches
Can I
with
wrestle
Charlotte.
for your company? I know Snoop.
Yeah, and she had a bunch of matches with Charlotte. That's it.
More with Bailey. That was her big feud, was Bailey, I feel like.
But
I
I mean,
know she did have some good ones
she
with
had a
Charlotte, too, actually,
ton
in
with
NXT.
Charlotte. They
You're right.
handed the title back and forth a bunch just to get Charlotte's numbers up.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good promo from her altogether. Will Ospreay says to Don Callis, I want out of the family. And Callis goes, you know what? Anybody else, I don't take kindly to that, saying that you want out of your contract with me. But for you, because of everything we've done for each other, okay. And he goes, but you'll have to owe me one day. And gives him a hug and just has this sinister look behind him while hugging him. And I'm like, cool. Okay, so we're going somewhere with this. But then he goes, let's go, Kyle. Kyle Fletcher is bruvs with Ospreay, but he's still in the Callis family. I bet you we're going to get Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. And I think if you do it, no, they're trying to push.
Didn't
MJF
we already have
towards
that match?
Ospreay. Probably.
I think he fought everybody in Callis' stable as soon as he came in.
His whole family. You're right, on Dynamite. I don't know then, so I don't know what they're doing. So Daniel Garcia was going after the International Championship. I think that's the one he has. Yes. And after he loses to Will Ospreay, he was legit crying in the corner. Hard. And he was talking about how it meant everything to him. Because I think I don't know. Ospreay lost his Gam the week before. And fucking Garcia. But Garcia was legit like crying in the corner, like, I can't believe it lost. I was like, that's really weird. But MJF was somewhat of the reason because he was trying to give him the ring. He's like, use the ring. And then MJF goes, that's on me. That one's on me. And as MJF gets him up, he goes, come here, man. And as he goes to hug him, I watched him do the motion of spread your legs with his hands. And you basically hear him say, don't forget to spread your legs. Something to the effect of that. Gives him a hug. And I was like, this motherfucker's kicking him in the dick. Because there's way too much time left to Dynamite right here. Kicks Daniel Garcia in the dick. Beats the shit out of him. Bloodies him up. Christopher Daniels, basically Adam Pearce 2.0, comes out, why would you do this? He tombstones him off of the top rope. Heel MJF is officially back.
Thank God.
Thank God. And on Collision, he did a promo. And it's funny because he goes, and Will Ospreay doesn't want none of this. And he says, and if he was here right now and all of a sudden you're do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I go, he's fucking with these fans. Fans are losing their goddamn shit. And I go, he's trolling because this wouldn't happen on Collision. And he just starts smiling. And I'm like, it's the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart one, or everybody has ever done this. But
that's right, yeah.
He's saying the reason he's doing everything is because of us, the fans. And one part of this promo on Collision, the issue was 2 to 3 minutes of it was re-showing a promo he did on Dynamite like 2 years prior about quarters being thrown at him, being called an ADD, Jew-riddled boy, all that, whatever the fuck that was. And he's like, and I trusted all of you and never again, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because when you look at this whole thing, if he's heel, what does that make this entire Adam Cole, United Kingdom era, devil mask thing? You know what I mean? Like this, everything was for nothing.
Yep, it was.
But on Saturday night, not only on Collision did MJF give this promo, while John Cena was the mega star to show up at Money in the Bank, and Lil John said, and he actually he was respectful. He was respectful and said, "Are you watching live?" I said, "No, sir, I am not." And then I go, "You know what? I think I'm gonna turn it on. I'm home in time." And I go to turn it on, and all of a sudden it's in the middle of Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, and I go, "I thought I was 2 minutes ahead of schedule." He goes, "Nope, started at 7:00 Eastern." And I go, "Oh, never mind. Then I'll watch it later."
Wait.
Yeah, I had no idea, but while John Cena was returning during that, Marco Stunt was the surprise challenger for, I don't even know if it was for the TNT title. I didn't watch the match. I just saw pictures and everything in it, and I saw like a quick video of it, and I saw how Jungle Boy was actually able to manhandle him, and I said, that's why. They needed someone who was smaller than him so that he could actually look like a very strong champion. They're like, what do you think Marco Stunt's doing? I mean, he's only, 76 pounds? Can you lift that, Jungle?
Yeah.
Can you lift the air? Hold this. It's close enough. All right, yeah, let's get Marco Stunt in here. Shit made me laugh.
What does Cornette? What does Cornette call him? A dwarf dong sucker. That's what he calls Marco Stunt. What a piece of shit! Listen, it's terrible, and I'm sure we talked about this already, but I got to go on a rant here. I saw some AEW mark online saying something about, everybody's mad that Jarrett didn't win the tournament and all this, but the fact that the fact that Tony Khan was able to get Jeff Jarrett over in that amount of time and make everybody, invested in him winning, that was an accomplishment. I don't think Tony did that. I think that was Jarrett on his own.
What? Wasn't there one? It was like a text or a tweet years ago. Someone sampled a Paul McCartney song or something like that, and someone's like, I don't know who this is, but that motherfucker about to blow up because his song was being sampled by a rap artist.
I do remember that. Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of right there.
It was somebody about.
Yeah.
But
I did see that Jeff Jarrett is actually going to be the special enforcer for the finals.
Hey, that's
between
fucking great.
Hangnail and
great.
Danielson. Yeah, I would have rather have been a triple threat and him get involved somehow and just get that win back. I'm mad that happened. You texted me. You wrote, you and Conrad are right, and I wrote, fuck him in his fat throat.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be right that it was going to be Hangman getting in there, and he came back looking like Magnum Page, 100% real strong with that mustache.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins the Owen Cup and we do Swerve and him at All In, you're not doing good business. But I guess it's okay if we do Danielson and Swerve, but that means that there's no McGinnis. The only way I will be okay with Swerve and Hangman 4 is if for some reason Nigel McGuinness gets involved in this match and fucks over Danielson and this match happens.
Okay, that's really the only reason to do it.
That's my only logic is to being okay with Hangman getting in that match, because right now I was really banking on McGuinness. The amount that they were talking, or that he's been talking shit, you know what I mean? My favorite one, obviously the one most recently, the claims to be a vegan, but can't get his mouth off the brie. Or can't stop eating brie.
He can't stop eating brie. Yeah, I mean, could you? Let's book this like Tony Khan would. The only way that this would work.
Hang on. All right, go.
Thank you. Thanks, Professor. So Paige had a little not scuffle, but verbal jabbing with the Bucks, right? And he's
yes,
like, I hate you guys. So my thing is, Paige is going to the finals. The Bucks say, hey, Jeff, why don't you lay that guitar upside of Paige's head, and you can take his place in the finals. That's the Tony Khan booking method, and that's how you get Jeff in there.
Nah, because
I don't want to be right.
He wants the world championship.
I don't want to be right.
He wants to go back to Swerve. He wants the championship.
I know. I don't want to be right. I'm just saying.
And don't forget, last time we saw Paige was Revolution, where he took the pin in the Samoa Joe Hangman Swerve match because it was his way, or no, tapping out, whatever it was, so that Swerve couldn't win the championship. Either way, I'm just out of it. I don't care. And Elite are still looking for a person to be in Blood and Guts. So maybe if they do help him, maybe he's like, okay, fine, I will be on your team for Blood and Guts. Maybe.
Gotcha.
Could be, but either way, this is not the finals I wanted. I was kind of somewhat convinced last week that maybe they were going to do the right thing and put Jeff Jarrett in there. Just, even for the finals, I was okay with him losing in the finals, but come on, man. If he lost to Bryan Danielson, I'd be like, okay, yeah, cool.
Right.
Jarrett made it to the finals. Fair enough. That's cool. But I didn't like any of this. The whole thing sucked.
A waste.
But one thing that did happen was on Friday night, as Rampage was, taped and shitty, DIY went back to Toronto and won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Okay? I'm in. It's funny because for a minute there I watched Ciampa get really pissed off while he was on Raw at one point. And I'm like, oh, he's going to turn. Here we go. We're going to get another feud or something. They're going to break up. And now they're tag champs. But I guarantee you right now, the moment they lose those tag titles, someone's turned on each other.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those things, at this point, I don't know if it's worth revisiting that. You know what I mean? I know the history's there and you could really rekindle it quick, but I don't know that you need to. Have you been watching any of the videos of Ciampa trying to hit an RKO on Randy Orton?
Fantastic. Landing on catering tables. Oh, my God, it's so amazing. It's basically them doing Glorious.
Glorious, yeah.
But just trying to do the RKO. I'm glad, because, when they did Glorious, that shit blew up, I felt like, even more with them.
It did, yeah. Their comedies, honestly, that's the only thing I care about Johnny Gargano, is the out-of-the-ring, off-the-camera shtick, right? Besides that, I could care less about Gargano.
I don't know their real history in real life with each other, but Ciampa was in Ring of Honor for a long time. Gargano was Evolve and all everywhere else.
Right.
Did they? They were. I think one of them was in the other one's wedding. You know what I'm saying? So did they meet through? I knew that they had the Cruiserweight Classic with each other. Did they meet through all of this and become friends through all this, or were they friends long before that?
I don't know. Buster, help me out here. Get back to us. I think the story, as I always remember it being told, is they're called DIY because they were a makeshift tag team. Like they
wanted to do it themselves.
They were just thrown together. It's like, we don't know what to do with you. We don't know what to do with you. Guess what? You're a tag team now. And out of it came a bunch of classic matches. But
it's really funny. That's what my company does. We don't know what to do with you or you. This is this division now.
I work with the goddamn customers. I'm a people person. As far as whether they were friends or not before that, I have no idea. Story for another time.
Like I said, random. But the fact that they won the tag team championship, good shit, all for it. Go to the table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
Oh, you're gonna be mad at me.
I already know what you're gonna talk about.
Mad at me.
I already know what you're gonna talk about.
Who?
You're gonna talk about how shitty the Undertaker's podcast is?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I love listening to him talk.
Okay.
They've had Mark Henry in there talking with him and shit. I love Taker shit. Good
okay.
stuff.
All right.
I love Chris Van Vliet, which, by the way, as you're seeing here, I put ZVV.
That's what I figured it was.
Start, in our own doc, kayfabe for ourselves. Yep. But you're going to be shocked as to who I'm actually liking to watch when these videos pop up now with interviews. It's Impulsive, Logan Paul.
Oh.
I got to be honest with you. I absolutely get he could be a twat. He's
a twat.
He's everything. Everything, okay? But if you listen to him, when he had Triple H on for an interview, the guy's not dumb, okay? He knows, he's business smart. And he was like, when you're reaching out to this many people globally and this and that, like he's not like got rich by accident and he was a smart way to do it. Actually is kind of educated if you listen to the dude. And in his interviews, he's not bad. And I'm saying like not bad, like he's really good. But one of my favorite ones, you gotta fucking check it out. Have you ever watched any of the clips of him in his podcast?
No, to me, a smart talking twat is still a twat.
Okay, but we run a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for proving my point.
But his two co-hosts that he has, these two guys, one of them wanted to really bring on the Island Boys. And this was like last year, maybe.
Are those
the year before,
two
right?
tattooed idiots?
Yeah, with the really spiky hair. Island Boys. Anyway, they got so pissed off and left the show because of a question that they were asked about, like, what happens if tomorrow this all goes bad? And they get all mad and whatever. Logan Paul was hysterical because he was just drinking his water with ice and he's chewing and he's talking to the guy. He goes, "You done fucked up, man. You made the Island Boys leave our show. You done fucked up." He's not bad. He's actually he's a pretty good host. I'm saying if you watch a little bit of it, maybe the algorithm right now is picking up on your phone and it's saying, we need to show Joe a little more Logan Paul.
I'll break
He's
my
not bad,
phone.
okay? And he interviews a lot of wrestlers. Rhea he's had on there, Rollins, he's had Cody, Triple H. It's not bad, man. Just saying. And one more thing, speaking of Rhea, have you seen that video of her, I think it was like WrestleMania weekend, where she sings Cody Rhodes' theme?
No.
It's her, and I feel like it's like Tyler Breeze or someone else sitting next to her, doing like an autograph sign, and she's wearing a microphone, one like a singer wears, where it's like wrapped around your ear, and you have like the, right? And someone brought up, and he goes, "No, it is a catchy theme, isn't it?" And she goes, "Adrenaline in the soul. Oh my God, it's Cody Rhodes." And the crowd went nuts because she sang it. And I was like, she's cool. I want to meet Rhea Ripley.
Did she get to the whoa? Did she go all that way?
No, that's all she
said
did
a
was
couple
just sang
lines?
right to
Okay.
there, and
Okay.
the crowd popped at that right there. But no, I'm saying, but she did a really good interview on Logan shit. I'm just saying, give it a shot. It's not as bad as you think.
I'll take your word for it.
You won't, and you won't listen to it, but whatever. Fuck off. What do you got this week?
Well, you already know because I told you, and you're like, you should make it. You bring it to the table, and I am because it's worth it. Dynamite was in Buffalo recently, so I looked
By
it
the
up.
way, the logo you got for the picture today, the logo that we're using, that was a friend of mine who took it inside of the arena before the show began. I was like, haha, make it look like no one showed up to Dynamite at all.
Because they didn't. So Buffalo, so I got some statistics here. Buffalo, as of 2022, has a population of 276,000. The metro population is 1.125 million. All right. Rochester, a little under that, 209,000. Metro, 1.067. Right. So a little bit less than Buffalo. As of June 29th, 2024, WrestleTix reported that for AEW Dynamite, 4,117 tickets were distributed, and the arena was only set up for 4,519. That arena holds a little bit more, probably holds about 12,000, if I had to guess. That stat I do not have. I went to a Rochester Red Wings game. That is our AAA team. They are the farm team for the Washington Nationals. And it was the 4th of July. They were doing fireworks, and there were 10,500 people there.
Yeah, but they got like a built-in audience, man. It's like everybody who in town goes to it. Kidding. No, it's hysterical. That's even on 4th of July. That should tell you something else, too, that most people would have been out doing other things. No, let's all go to the Red Wings game.
Uh-huh. Yep. Twice the crowd of Dynamite. A televised cable TV show on TNT. Outdone by the Rochester Red Wings.
They can't even give away tickets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is bad.
It's fucking terrible.
Let's see how they do when they're stuck in Arlington for several weeks before All In. That's coming up, I believe, in a couple of weeks.
They should just go down to Disney and just let people come in when they record, like WCW did.
It worked for WCW, man. Just the Saturday night crowd. Just everybody was just filtering in and out. Didn't matter.
Yep. You always have a full crowd. Well, you know.
Problem is that you can't do good television when you're trying to do it in front of random people. Back then, you knew who the face and you knew who the heel was. The heel came out going, grr, har, har. Everybody come out as just a fucking generic-looking wrestler right now. You're like, I don't know. I'll cheer for that one, I guess.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
He has blue.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Not enough characters But back in the wars, we had characters. And guess what? We're about to get the first promo of an up-and-coming debut. Let's go to the wars.
Monday Night Wars! Savage off the top. Top rope elbow. Got him. Covers it. 1, 2, 3. We got a new world champion. Randy Savage, the Macho Man. It appeared as if the girl, Gorgeous George, had sided with Nash the whole night, was seeking refuge, shelter in his corner.
Say there is a cloud of controversy that still hangs over that victory. What's this? I don't know.
Standing in Jacksonville, and would you look at what we got? Oh my goodness! Out of nowhere, the one, the only, Hollywood Hogan!
It's the wars. ODM, take it away. No, I'm just
I was
kidding.
about to start.
Hey, all right. Look at hidden track, pal. You know, it's a struggle over here. Look at it is the Monday Night Wars. We got Bash at the Beach, 1999. We got some very incredible stuff, including a junkyard match, and we even have, as you heard in our sounds, man, a new world champ. I actually forgot this whole thing even happened, to be honest with you, and I think this is some of my favorite work of Savage. I forgot how much I actually liked this version of him. We're going to get into that. We got the Raw, we got the Nitro that follow along, but we can't do it unless ODM speaks it all out loud, and I do things to interrupt him, so go.
I have a funny feeling you won't be interrupting me for the first couple minutes. July 11th, 1999, we get Bash at the Beach 99. They say the main event's been updated due to circumstances with Sting and his involvement in, interfering with Kevin Nash. So it's still going to be Macho and Sid versus Nash and Sting. But they've added a stipulation where Sting can pin Kevin Nash, his partner, and win the world title during that match. Sure. Isn't that fucking hilarious? What about 6 months before they actually do that again and it backfires on them? We see Gene on the ramp pushing the hotline as he typically does at the beginning of a pay-per-view and looking quite dashing in his Hawaiian shirt. And we see Mike Tenay.
Not as good as mine, but it's close enough.
Sure, absolutely. You got to see mine. It's quite smashing. We see Mike Tenay in a junkyard, and he's standing in the middle of a big circle formed by cars stacked up on top of each other. And for this garbage match, it is you have to escape the ring of cars and then climb a fence to win. Sure. We open up this spectacular pay-per-view with the Cat versus Disco Dish Rag. Cat wants another dance contest. They dance a little, the match starts, and the Cat wins with the loaded shoe.
Let's fight it out with a dance party.
Yeah. Judge Mills Lane's getting interviewed by the website. And we get Rick Steiner versus Van Hammer for the TV title. Rick retains. And we see Mike Tenay and a ref at the junkyard. The match starts. Actually, no, it doesn't start yet. But they announced that Brian Knobbs is going to be in there. Hugh Morris and Hack. Not sure who else. And the ref is holding a Hardcore Championship trophy that looks like it was made out of parts from the junkyard they're in.
Wow. You know what they should do? They should take an old WWF championship that was beaten up with a hammer and write hardcore across. Wait, no, someone else did that.
Yeah, somebody already did that. Yeah. So next we get Dean Malenko versus David Flair with Tori for the U.S. title. So Tori's apparently getting around. First she was fucking Nash. Now she's back with David. Also with David is Rick, Asia, Arn Anderson, and Charles Robinson. Malenko takes Rick out on the apron, locks in the cloverleaf. Arn Anderson comes out and takes out the ref with a spine buster. Malenko cleans house, including Asia, puts the cloverleaf on her. Rick uses the title to the back of Malenko's head. Robinson just randomly puts on a ref shirt and counts 3. I'll tell you right now, if I were there or I bought this on pay-per-view, I'd be pissed. And it's only gonna get worse.
I'd like to see what the buy rate is for some of these shows because they were, as I'll give him the quote, Bruce Pritchard. It was the drizzling shits.
Yeah.
This whole pay-per-view is kind of the drizzling shits, except for basically the outcome of the main event in my eyes.
Yeah, and the main event itself wasn't.
And you know
even
what?
great.
And that's for a guy that is watching 2,796 hours of fucking 1999 Attitude Era.
And just the A shows and the pay-per-views. That doesn't include Thunder and Heat.
Or SmackDown yet. Well, when
Or
it does come
SmackDown.
up.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Next, you get the West Texas Rednecks versus Rey Mysterio, Conan, Swole, and some other guy from the No Limit Soldiers. It's an 8-man elimination match. You took it from me, you son of a bitch. Well, it's funny because Conan says after they win, the Rednecks are going to toss their salads. Huh? I don't think that means what you think it means.
Or he knew exactly what he was saying. He's like, no
Right.
one at TNT knows what that means, so fuck it. We're gonna use it.
Yeah. I knew this pay-per-view was going to suck, but God.
Apparently they're gonna throw lettuce at each other, but whatever, it's okay.
It's a slang that kids use. You know what? Fuck this match. Ray wins.
Yeah.
We get our Junkyard Match Invitational, which is actually what they call it. Public Enemy, or Pubic Enema, makes a return. What to say about this? Barrel fires, electrocution, car parts, cars getting crushed, explosions, and La Parka dresses a lumberjack. Fit Finley wins.
Sounds like an 80s action movie.
Not far off. Just in 99. Next, you get the Triad versus Benoit and Saturn for the tag titles. The
Triad?
The Triad.
Sorry, I just wanted to see if it worked.
The Triad takes the Freebird rule to a whole new level, just swapping out their participants, so it's really 3-on-2. Aside from all the bullshit, this had some decent wrestling here. But I'm ready for this pay-per-view to be over. So there was 2 ref bumps. The first one meant dick all. DDP uses a metal trash can that you would find in your kitchen, and the Triad retains. Next match
pay-per-view.
Next match of the night, and not for good reasons. It's Piper versus Buff in a boxing match. Buffer does the intro, as he would for a boxing match. Mills Lane is your ref. He comes to the ring wearing his judge's robe. Flair is in Piper's corner. Buff comes out, and he announces his corner person is Judge Judy Bagwell. God damn it.
I was actually hoping it was just Judge Judy.
Yeah, so did I at first. I'm like, that makes sense because, oh.
Yep, 100%. But then when he was in the fucking robe also, it's like, I don't think you know what you were hired to do here tonight, man.
Well, obviously he doesn't. Obviously he doesn't. We'll get there. This is not Brawl for All. This is a straight work and an ugly one. Buff goes down first. At one point you hear a fan yell, "Hey, cameraman, get the hell out of the way."
You just see this car wrecked person.
In between rounds, Flair puts something on Piper's gloves. It gets in a Buff's eye. A fan tells Flair his mother, Flair says, "Hey, Flair, you suck." Flair goes, "So does your mother." Piper starts round 3, and then Judy Bagwell just comes in and starts biting Piper's ear, topical, and then puts the water bucket on Piper's head. Buff cold cocks Flair, hits a blockbuster on Piper and pins him, and Judge Judy keeps Flair from getting in the ring, and Mills Lane counts 3. Sure.
Judge Judy Bagwell. Make sure to say that one.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Heads
true.
up.
Yeah. So,
Don't
yeah.
make people watch this pay-per-view for no reason and get mad at us.
I know they're going to get all excited. Judge Judy was there? Well, sort of.
I see that bitch fight.
Right? Who doesn't? Well, this brings us up to the main event. It's Macho and Sid versus Nash and Sting. It's a tag match for the world title. Unfortunately, not last time we're going to see that. George has a black eye from last week. Yikes. And at the beginning of the...
Old ones.
At the beginning... God damn it. If we haven't gotten canceled, that's not going to get us canceled anyway, so I think we're all right. George starts the match by going right to Nash's corner. The ladies start getting involved. Sting cracks Medusa and Miss Madness's heads together. Domestic abuse for everybody. Sting hits a splash on Macho and Nash, but mostly Nash. Sting gets chokeslammed by Sid. Nash sets up the power bomb on Macho. Did it take you a second there?
No, it just occurred to me. They're putting the match together. Savage was like, okay, but when do we start beating the women?
Jesus Christo. I'm gonna give you a second.
I'm good.
good?
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm fine. We're good. Or did you mean on the Jesus Christo? I mean, I can speak some things.
You should be able to figure that one out. So Nash sets up the powerbomb on Macho. Gorgeous George comes in behind him, goes to low blow him, and completely whiffs to the point where Nash didn't even realize it happened. So she had to back up and do it again, which we just saw this weekend in Money in the Bank, which is fucking hilarious. Sid slams Nash in a position for the elbow drop, and in 1999, Macho Man is the WCW World Champion. We've said this before, but I'm just going to say it again for the hell of it. Macho, of all like the big, like, you know, your Hogan types and that level of stars, especially that came from WWF, he's the only one that stayed over the entire time. And was like, you know, even though it's 1999... Like, at what point during doing this have you and I been like, you know, I'm getting real tired of Macho?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
You know? So, and then Macho gives Nash the old Hawk Tua.
Oh, he does. He definitely, holding the championship, literally goes up, the Tui!
And then I saw a sign that said, Sid blows goats.
Accurate.
I'm going to tell you right now, the episode of Nitro that followed this pay-per-view up is better, and that's not saying much, okay? It's not because it was good.
Add it up.
It was just better. This Nitro's in Jacksonville. I wonder if a young TK was there. Gene opens up the show.
Selling weed back then.
Yeah, probably had a Hornets jacket, too. Gene's in the ring with Macho.
Oh, my God.
Mark my words. One day, everybody's going to have a pager. Mark my words.
That's it. Mark my words. Wait, am I supposed to be writing this down?
Macho says he's got an open challenge for anyone but Nash. And then the NWO music hits, and it's Hogan. A decent pop. You know, Hogan was away long enough. They were like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Macho says, hey, I made a mistake. You're in the category of Nash. Both of you need to get the hell out of Dodge because I own Dodge, okay?
Pain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? For Wheezy, there it is.
Hogan says, hey, it's already a done deal, brother. I'm coming for the title tonight. And Macho just says, okay. We get our what the fuck moment of the night. It's Vampiro versus Conan. Heenan says this is the first time that these two have gone one-on-one, and these two hate each other. What?
Well, maybe you could have like some backstage heat.
Yeah, sure. This was a convoluted finish. Even commentary had no clue. Vampiro gets DQ'd for throwing a chair at Conan. Conan! Next, you get the cat with Sonny Ono.
Well, hang on.
Ashbet.
I don't think Punk ever really faced Drew McIntyre because he was in the middle of 3MB and all that dog shit, and they're both heels at the same time. So they've hated each other for a long time, but this is the first time meeting in the ring. That actually is accurate.
Why are you trying to defend this?
Because it's one of the very few things I can defend about WCW Nitro in 1999.
Fair enough. We'll go with that. So, yeah, Cat comes to the ring, calls out Buff, starts talking about his mama. Buff comes to the ring, and Buff says, don't sing it, bring it. Did Scott Hall say you could use that? Because I'm just wondering. The Cat jumps Buff, and I guess this match is just going to start now, but there's no ref, and Loaded Shoe and Sonny Ono counts 3. So, yeah. Because wrestling.
Well, WCW wrestling.
Ric Flair with Arn Anderson and Asia versus Malenko with Saturn and Benoit. Flair calls for security to get Benoit and Saturn out of the building, and then Bischoff randomly joins commentary. Naturally, Charles Robinson is your ref. He gets bumped in the corner. A second ref comes in. Flair gets the figure 4 on. Malenko reverses. Asia comes in and punts the second ref. And while in the figure 4, while he has it reversed, Malenko starts slapping the mat. Kind of like, come on, you motherfucker, come on, yeah, I'm going to beat your ass. Slap it. Yeah, that didn't work out well for him because Robinson's like, oh, word, you're tapping? All right, Flair, you win. Yeah. Arn Anderson and Asia start beating Malenko down. Sting makes the save. Sting says Space Mountain is on Viagra. Topical. Sting says he wants control right here, right now. I want a match with you, Rick, tonight. Winner gets control of WCW. We did this angle already. And he says, you know what? You can wrestle David tonight. You beat David, you can wrestle me. And Flair and Arn Anderson are commiserating. All right. Steven Regal with Dave Taylor and Fit Finlay versus Kidman. There's a ref bump because wrestling. The heels come in for the beatdown. Finlay misses a chair shot, hits Regal. And then, in the true what-the-fuck moment of the night, Kidman goes to the top rope. He goes to hit his shooting star press. He does the backflip. He just doesn't move forward. So he just lands gut first on the rope and fucking looked like he tweaked his knee. It was fucking brutal. It was
awesome.
I rebounded a couple times. I'm like, did he slip? No. Was he do that on purpose? No. He just
didn't go forward.
He just didn't go forward.
Like you actually described it perfectly. Just no momentum forward.
Yep.
Just did a
standing backflip.
Body flip of a belly splash on the turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fucking great.
Bischoff did it well.
Bischoff comes in to check on Kidman. Kidman gets an inside cradle on Regal. Bischoff counts 3. The heels get in Bischoff's face, and Bischoff shoves him down, and yeah, that's that. Next, you get Kenny Chaos versus Sid. Hey, guys, Kenny Chaos is back. It's a squash. Sid actually, for once, hit a decent-looking power bomb. He gets on the mic post-match. Do you feel the power? It sounded like his whole promo post-match was like doing a Warrior impression. It was weird.
I was going to say Ultimate Warrior vibes.
Yeah, major. But it was cool because since being back, this is the first time I've heard him use his line, I am the master and the ruler of the world. I don't know. As much as Sid was terrible on the mic, I always did like that line.
Because it's the only one he memorized.
Exactly. I hope you're not as stupid as I look.
I am the waster and the mooler of the world.
Next, you get David Flair and crew versus Sting. Stinger splash into a Scorpion Deathlock. Lil Nate doesn't call it, so Sting hits a death drop on Robinson. Sting takes out Rick and Arn Anderson. Hits a splash to Asia and Ric Flair. I guess that means Sting wins. And then commentary teases a new hardcore champ. So Finlay apparently just won a trophy, and now they're going to crown a hardcore champ, even though Flair said there's no hardcore matches allowed in the arena anymore. I don't fucking know. But what happens next is it's Gene in ring with the trophy that Finlay wins. Finlay comes to the ring, is basically just cutting a promo on the fans, and everybody that was in that Junkyard Invitational runs out, and Jimmy Hart and Jerry Flynn run off with the hardcore trophy.
I have nothing to say.
Yep, fair enough. Next, you get DDP versus Booker T. Heenan made just an off-color comment about Ham and Eggers. Inside baseball there. Bischoff said he spoke to Harvey Schiller. Flair's going to wrestle Sting next week on Nitro. Winner gets control of WCW. Ref bump. Canyon hits a flatliner. Booker sort of kicks out at 2.5. Canyon has powder, but Booker counters. Bam Bam breaks up the pin. It's a DQ beatdown. They tape Booker up on the ropes in the corner. Black and White's watching from the back laughing, except for Stevie Ray, who runs out with a chair, frees Booker, and we get some Harlem Heat chants. So there you go. Speaking of, I think we're at the anniversary of Hulk Hogan, I'm Coming For You.
Well, wait. How'd the rest of it go? All right.
Nah. Main event, it's Macho.
I ain't falling for that again.
I am not again. Macho and Team Madness versus Hogan for the world title. Hogan takes out Medusa and Miss Madness with the double coconut. Medusa and Miss Madness argue, then catfight. With 20 minutes left, you think they'd have something planned instead of them just killing time, which is exactly what this was. And furthermore, it's Hogan just fighting from underneath. Hulks up after a missed elbow drop. Sid interferes, but there's no DQ. George slides a chain to Macho. Bischoff conveniently mentions that Hogan asked it to be a no DQ. Yeah, you should have said that before the match started, but fine. Sting makes a save. Macho uses a loaded fist. Nash pulls the ref out, hits a power bomb. Hogan gets the 3, and in 1999, Hulk Hogan is the champ again.
God, I really, really love WCW in 99.
Nash gets on the mic, says, "Welcome back, Hogan. But just so you're keeping track, that's 2 times I've handed you that belt." Shark came back to the tank. You and me for that title. No jokes, no laydowns. This time the outcome is going to be my way. I'm tired of being screwed around, and I'm going to finish this once and for all. Hogan says, "You got it, brother." Good night, folks. Let's go to Raw.
And that's when The Rock said, "I think Macho should hand the title over to Hogan tonight."
I says to Eric, all right, let's go to Raw. Austin opens the show by going to the ring. There's a sign that says Jericho, WWF bound. Very, very interesting and coincidental or purposeful. One or the other.
Yeah, I was like, someone is on the inside.
Yeah.
Someone's listening.
Let's see. Austin says he had his attorney drop the contract. He wants Vince out to sign it. Vince comes out in a wheelchair, says, "For the record, I was in a motorcycle accident." And he says, "I'm not going to sign it before Austin does. What do you expect me to trust you?" Austin says, "Well, I'm not going to sign it until I get my Smoking Skull belt back. So get me my belt and I sign it, or I stick this contract so far up your ass I'll have to open your mouth to sign it." Boom. Lights go out. Kane's music hits. But it's not Kane. Taker just comes up from behind Austin and hits him with the Smoking Skull belt. Austin's busted open. It's a beatdown. Vince gives Taker a fountain pen. Taker, I guess kayfabe, uses it to collect Austin's blood so Vince can sign the contract in Austin's blood. And the best part is Vince is in an electric wheelchair and he's trying to go back up the ramp and it doesn't go. And Shane has to come out to push him up the ramp.
It was fucking awesome.
It was great.
I swear to God, I didn't know if that was going to be on the Peacock version. When I was watching it, I was dying. I was like, this is amazing. How have I never seen this before? I'm like, maybe I watched it back in the day, but this is amazing. This is something that doesn't get talked about enough.
You see him look around, too.
I almost want him just to go straight backwards, though. like out of control version.
It was fucking hilarious. Let's see. Edge versus Gangrel. They fight up to the top of the ramp where Gangrel makes his entrance in the Ring of Fire, and Gangrel shoves him through the pit of hell, I guess.
The Ring of Fire.
There you go. Austin's getting stitched up by the doc in the back, and then we get an announcement. The SummerSlam press conference. Jesse the Body Ventura will be there, and he is going to return to the ring. In 1999.
Isn't he Jesse the Mind at this point?
They called him the Body.
Oh, I thought he was still. I thought he was Jesse the Mind when he was the governor.
Yeah, no, they refer to him as the Body, probably because it's a WWF thing. You know what I mean?
Yep, I forgot. He's about to have an involvement in SummerSlam. Can't wait.
Hooray! DX music hits. And then we see Road Dogg and X-Pac in the back running down Finkel for being such a snitch. And they tar and feather him. Then they head to the ring. Basically, they just cut a promo on China, Triple H, and Billy Gunn saying, "You're going to have to beat us for the rights to DX. Your asses are grass and we're going to smoke it." Hasn't used that one in a while. Lights go out. It's Kane's music. Comes to the ring. Goes face-to-face with X-Pac. And Pac tells him, "You got to make a decision, man. Taker or me." China, Triple H, and Billy Gunn run in. Fame-Master on Kane. Taker runs in, takes out Gunn. Taker and Kane are face-to-face. And you can tell Taker's wearing a wireless mic pack because he says, "Kane, I'm your brother. I won't make you choose." But you could hear it, so. Let's see. Val Venus and Godfather versus the Hardy Boys for the tag titles. Big Val Boski is a lot like a Mick Foley. He's hard to beat and he never seems to want to stay down.
Wow, we were really grasping this week.
Yep. This is the debut of...
Run out of fucking dick references? You're like, let me start thinking about wrestlers here.
The Hardys are debuting their signature music on Raw this week, so that was nice to hear. Hayes interferes about a minute into the match. It's a DQ. The Acolytes come out to take out the Hardys, and it's a three-way brawl on the ramp. King says, keep the hose out of this. Next, you get Michael Cole with China, Triple H, and Mr. Ass. China says, what you mean to say is the real DX. We're going to beat him tonight just for fun. Bring that big red retard with you. You can't say that anymore. If he can get his nose out of Taker's ass long enough. We see Austin in the back. He looks like the Sheik of Araby with his head wrapped after he got his stitches. And then we get a Tori vignette. Not Tori in WCW, the Sable Stalker Tori. Emelina.
Yeah, basically.
Basically. Next, you get Jeff Jarrett.
Same dance and all.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett with Deborah versus question mark for the IC title. Jeff Jarrett said, these puppies are staying in my doghouse. Austin runs in, hits a stunner to Jeff Jarrett. Calls Taker out, wants a piece of his ass. Tonight, no rules, no ref, anything goes. Big Show's music hit. He comes out and says, Taker's going to have Kane in his corner. You may not want my help, but I want to kick their asses just as bad as you. Let's send their ass to hell tonight. And Austin agrees. And as Jeff Jarrett's coming to, Austin runs back and hits another stunner on him. So this is how Austin got with Deborah.
And do you realize Big Show got here in February and he already went from heel to face to heel again?
Mm-hmm.
We're only in August.
The legends are true.
It's so fucking awesome to watch in real time.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at here? All right. So next you get Triple H and Mr. Ass with China versus X-Pac and Road Dogg. Both teams come out to DX music. We get a hat trick. The lights go out and Kane's music hits again, but he doesn't come out. And Triple H says he's not coming out. Give us the rights to DX and we won't 3-on-2 kick your ass. X-Pac says we got 2 words for you. The Rock's music hits. He's the one that's going to take Kane's place. And JR goes, now what the hell is going on? For God's sake. Even he's like, too many cooks. Rock wins with the people's elbow, and I have a sign citing. It says Nicole Bass Swallows. I'll take your word for it. Terry Taylor's with Draws and Albert. Draws is in a dress, and he's digging it. He wants an evening gown match, and now he's got to go wax his bikini line. Get it while the getting's good, I guess.
While it's still useful. Sorry.
Oh,
wait,
that's fine.
It's kind of going back to dead legs grow hair.
Draws is out to challenge for the evening gown match, and Al Snow comes out in an evening gown conveniently, and he wants it to be hardcore rules. Draws says, don't just sing it, bring it, bitch. And JR goes, well, another original line, folks. Thank you, JR, for calling that one out. At one point, Droz's the top of his dress comes off, and Droz has pasties on.
Respectful.
Right. And then Al Snow grabs Salad Tongs and grabs Droz by the balls and rips his gown off and hits a chair shot to the heat, puts him through a table, and Albert comes out with a tattoo kit and pierces Heed with a railroad spike. And JR says, oh, the humanity of it all.
I just call it a Saturday night.
There you go. Video from earlier with Henry and D'Lo. They want to beat the Acolytes, and the doc says, Henry, you can't wrestle. Your blood pressure is like 2,000 over 1,400. Okay. And we see D'Lo and Mark Henry leaving the arena, and they walk by Hardcore Holly, who kind of just looks and is like, Acolytes come to the ring. They call out Henry and D'Lo. They want to kick somebody's ass. Bradshaw says, no one's coming out. We're going to go to the back. And Hardcore Holly comes out and just slaps Bradshaw, and for some reason, and they end up in the ring, and JR says it's not an official match. That's good to know. Show comes out, and he takes out the Acolytes and carries Holly to the back. Like Hogan carrying Miss Liz. All right. Sure.
I was kind of hoping he was going to follow up with the backstage segment. Please, God, go and wake up. Yeah, right. Randy.
Oh, we get another GTV segment. This time it's Joey Abs getting rapey with Stephanie. Stephanie slaps him and says, stay away from me. I'm not far off there. Next.
No, it was dead on.
Yeah, dead on. Shane booked Test in a gauntlet match against Mean Street Posse. Pete Gas is first. Short work. Rodney next. Short work again. Joey Abs next. Shane runs in, chop block. Actually hit a spear on Test. Then Blackman saunters to the ring. Makes the save. Shamrock comes out to take out Blackman. They fight off. They Pillmanize Test's ankle. Steph comes to the ring, grabs Shane by the waist. Shane elbows her, not realizing, and carries her to the back, crying and apologizing. Like Hogan carrying Miss Liz.
Shane! Where's he at?
Cole's with Taker and Kane. Cole says, I guess it's official. Kane and Taker are together as one. Kane has his back to the camera, and at one point, Taker's mid-promo. He's finishing up the promo. He stops. He looks at Kane, looks back at the camera, and finishes the promo. Was it a rib that Kane was pulling or something? Like, did he rip ass and it distracted Taker? Or
I just thought it was part of the promo.
Right, maybe it was like Kane's like he's just checking on Kane, making sure he's yeah, I don't fucking know. It was weird.
Could be, I don't know, but maybe. I don't know.
And then it happens. The countdown to the millennium. I popped like a motherfucker when I saw this. It's
671 hours, I believe.
9 minutes, and I counted it at 47 seconds. So math is involved, if you'd be interested to know. It's about 28 days or 4 weeks.
Which is funny, because when you first looked at it, you're just like, yeah, Millennium, Y2K, yeah, whatever. Like, you weren't really putting the math together. You're like, oh shit, that's getting closer.
Yeah, right?
Just good to see, man. It was exciting. I was actually wondering when it was going to happen. I swear to God, last week I was going to say, hey, why aren't we getting any countdowns for Jericho? I'm like, he comes before SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. We're already in July. But here we go.
There we go. Main event, it's Taker and Kane versus Austin and Big Show. It's just a big shit show of a brawl. Yeah, I'm not going to really say much other than the finish. A stunner to Kane. Austin gets the pin. It was just a shit show brawling. They focused mostly on Austin and Taker. They fought all over the fucking place. But yeah. Extra attitude for this one. It's just Show and Austin celebrating in the ring, both drinking beers. Austin, it was like a 3-minute extra attitude, and Austin probably drank like 8 beers. I mean, he spilled most of it on
Deborah,
him.
what are you doing tonight? Can you give me a ride?
You and them damn puppies get in my truck.
It's good to see Jey Uso was all happy about being let into Toronto with his driving abilities.
Or lack thereof.
Well, you know what I'm excited to do? Piss you off.
But since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
Peter, it's so good. It's like the perfect movie.
This is what everyone always says. Whenever they say,
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I mean, you never see Robert Duvall.
No, fine actor. Did not like the movie. Why not? Couldn't get into it.
Explain yourself. What didn't you like about it?
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean? Because it has a valid point to make. It's insistent.
It takes forever getting in. You spend like 6.5 hours, and then I can't even get through. I can't even finish the movie. I've never even seen the ending.
You've never seen the ending?
Well, how can you say you don't like it if you haven't even given it a chance?
I agree with Stewie. It's not really fair.
I have tried on 3 separate occasions to get through it, and I get to the scene where all the guys are sitting around on the easy chairs.
Yeah, it's a great scene. I love that scene.
Not a great
in every annal.
I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like they're speaking a different language. That's where I lose interest and I go away.
They're speaking Italian.
The language they're speaking is a language of subtlety, something you don't understand.
I love the money pit. That is my answer to that statement.
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
Whatever.
I like that movie, too.
I couldn't figure out, is it just I refuse to watch them because it's not my bag, baby? Is it because it's too late? I already know too much? Or is it just not, just no interest at all in that type of topic? We're going to have to find out. So this week we are talking about movies that either one of us refuse to watch. I'm probably going to piss you off. You're likely not going to bother me too much. Unless it's like something really good like the Austin Powers trilogy. Be like, why could you not watch that? It's the greatest fucking cinema of all time.
Is it, though?
As you heard in the sound, I agree with Peter Griffin. The Godfather. It insists upon itself. It just insists upon itself.
False, but okay. You're welcome to your opinion.
That's my first. That's my opener. I've tried Godfather, couldn't really get in and keep going. And fuck yes, I get it. I'm Italian. People. That's the other thing. People are like, you're Italian. What's Godfather?
That's nothing to do with it.
God.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with it.
And I'm like, sure as fucking people have not seen other things that are right along with their heritage.
Right.
But I'll start with that. Godfather. That series for me, unfortunately, is just one I don't care to. I tried. Seems slow. Seems boring. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a lot of TNA.
There's a tit shot in the first one. All right.
All right.
Well, American Pie.
Any of them?
Any of them.
Because it insists upon itself?
Sure, we'll go with that. Here, let me sum up the first one for you. Kid fucks a pie, girl shoves a flute in her pussy, Stifler's mom. There you go. You don't need to watch it.
Wait, you refuse to watch it. That sounds like you watched it. I mean,
no, because everybody, even if you haven't watched it, everybody
right.
knows those 3 things. I mean, that's all you need to
pie, flute in the pussy, Stifler's mom. It's a shame that can't be the episode name this week. I figured. Indiana Jones.
Well, I mean, yeah, that one, I don't get it because it's not sci-fi. It's not boring.
I know. I tried watching a couple times as a kid when you'd see it on USA Network, and it would not draw me in. I can't figure out why, and still to this date, like, if you're like, well, try it now as an adult. Now it's that point where I'm like, it's too late. I'm out of it. I don't care. But that's just me.
All right. Titanic.
Never watched it.
Nope.
Yeah, it sank. She didn't let him on the fucking thing. That's it.
I heard.
And then she threw a fucking expensive necklace over the fucking the boat into the water so that no one could ever become a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Selfish fucking bitch.
Selfish bitch.
You know this one.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars.
Yep.
Any of them.
No surprise.
You knew it was going to make it there. I don't even need to give you an explanation. Your turn.
Nope. That's going to be a upcoming movie of the week, by the way. All 9 episodes. Plus actually another movie, maybe some series. Yeah. That'll be a movie of the week.
I'll take that week off.
Paul Blart.
Oh, I didn't want to watch that either. Good shit. As soon as I saw the commercial, I go, nah, I'm good.
That's a hard pass for me.
Yeah. Doesn't work for me, brother. I'll lump these two together. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
Ah, fuck. Harry Potter's my next one.
No shit. Hey, all right, we agreed on one. Look at that.
I figured we would.
Good shit.
I figured we would. Lord of the Rings, listen, it's not my favorite. It pales in comparison. I'm going to take Randall's side from Clerks 2 on that side of the debate. I'm taking Star Wars over it. But I fuck with Lord of the Rings. I watched the
made
Hobbit
a Lord of the Rings fan so pissed off he threw up.
and puked.
I can love that. RoboCop.
Oh, wow.
It looked dumb.
Can you fly,
Never
Bobby?
cared for it.
Motherfucker got shot to shit and still made him go to work.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean,
not one of my the finer Arnold movies.
I have a RoboCop T-shirt. I'll have to wear it next week.
Wait, that was Arnold, right?
What? RoboCop?
No, RoboCop wasn't Arnold,
No,
right?
not at all.
No, it wasn't Arnold. Just anybody.
Paul
It doesn't matter.
Welker, I think was his name.
Could
Maybe.
have been Paul Blart. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Might as well call it. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Same. Not on my list, but good call.
I don't care.
My one of my very first long-term girlfriends, her younger sister was huge into it, and she's like, "You got to watch them. They're really, really good." And I was like, "No, I don't." But what was funny about it is at that time, he's Captain Jack Sparrow. My first band was Captain Jack. And everybody's like, "Oh, did you guys do it because of the movie? Or because of..." They're like, "Or because of Billy Joel?" I'm like, "Nah, 2 out of 3 of us drink Captain Morgan. The other one drinks Jack Daniels." That's how we came up with this band name.
There you go.
It was built on alcohol.
Cool story.
Broke up on alcohol, too.
Maybe cocaine.
No lie. It got to some fucking fistfights in that band. It got ugly. Thelma and Louise.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
why?
I've ever seen the whole thing the whole way through.
Okay. Well, for me, it's because I never saw it, never really had the opportunity. It wasn't really on a channel that would ever play very often. But when I got older, I knew too much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne's World 2. Just keep going, Wayne. Okay, Garth. You knew all about that. They fucking drove off the cliff. I'm like, I don't need to see a fucking movie to know that they're going to commit suicide.
Pretty much.
You know, I mean, I may have walked into Iron Claw knowing a lot of that was going to happen, but there was an interest of wrestling there. So something about that one I just don't really care about.
Fair enough. I think it's reasonable.
Like I said, it's just that I know too much, don't care at this point now.
Yeah. Definitely. Here's one. La La Land.
I didn't give a fuck about that. I didn't even give it a shot.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what's funny, though? Is that the Hugh Jackman one, I think it was him.
Les Mis.
Greatest Showman
Oh, I don't.
was actually not fucking bad. Just throw it out there.
Okay.
So, but no, I didn't watch La La Land either myself. Jaws.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't need a reason to fucking have nightmares. I already have a feeling that shit is happening out there. Yo, did you see the fucking viral video? There's one that's out right now where a lady was getting pulled out of the goddamn water. Half her fucking leg is missing. They're yelling, "Who has a belt?" Everybody's crying. There's blood in the fucking water. No motherfucking thank you. I don't trust a goddamn dolphin, let alone a fucking shark. Nope.
So you're not watching Flipper either?
Flipper's dead. Nothing but trouble. That's where they buried Flipper. Actually, you know what movie's not on here? 2 Speeds. Maluga.
Big Man on Campus, yeah. Zoolander.
I swear to God, I almost put it on my list and I go, now I'm really stretching. But the truth is, I looked at it and said, it just doesn't look like it's going to interest me, and I never watched it. And I've heard people make jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people talk about it, and I'm like, I'm good without that one. I've seen a lot of Ben Stiller movies. I don't need to see him do this role. I'm okay with it. It's kind of like Adam Sandler in Little Nicky. Nope. Didn't give it 1 second.
That's a good
Same
call.
with you? Or?
That's a good call. Yeah, no, that's a perfect call. Yep, perfect call.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like some of them I'm like, I'll watch you in this. Other ones I'm like, I'll take a pass on this one. I don't need to see them all. You know, like Stallone, Gibson, They all have done a lot of shitty fucking movies, but there's a lot I like from them at the same point too. You know, like it's. I didn't realize how much I really was into the Rambo movies until I was stuck in a hotel room watching it in the rain a couple weeks ago. The Men in Black trilogy.
Oh, come on, buddy. Those are fun.
I just don't care. You know what? I'm really not a fan of Will Smith's
Fair enough.
acting at all.
Tommy Lee Jones, though.
Fresh Prince was okay, but anything else he's ever done, I really didn't care about. Pursuit of Happiness is the one movie you got me. You got me with a tear or two. But other than that, I never really cared for him.
I mean, that doesn't. But yeah, there's still Tommy Lee Jones, man. You know, and Vincent D'Onofrio's in the first one. It's pretty funny.
Joker.
Okay. No, good. You nailed it.
Nice. What do you got?
Twister.
Same. Never watched it.
There's a sequel coming out now.
Funniest thing I saw the other day, actually, no lie, is the cover art of it. The Twister's behind them, and they're all facing at the camera. And someone wrote, "Motherfucker, it's behind you."
Look.
You know, one I took off here, and I will say I'll put it back on for a second in the conversation, and it was because my wife was like, "You need to see it." I get it. You ever have someone that jerks off to a video so much, like the movie, they're like, "This is the best one. You got to see this. You got to see this. You got to see this. It's the shit." But you already know you really don't agree on most things with that person.
Faces of Death.
Hate to use him. Yeah. I hate to use him as another example, but that boy ruined for me ever watching basketball. I'm like, and I refuse to watch it because I'm like, he's like, dude, it's like the funniest fucking movie of all time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know, man. We have different tastes in comedy and shit, so I never fucking watched it. But my wife's like, no, it's actually really, really good.
It is. It's like, pretty damn funny.
I don't know. So, you know, that's where some of the things were becoming torn in my list.
Right.
Like, why am I not watching these,
Sure.
right? But one for sure is this was in his wheelhouse and a lot of other people's wheelhouse, but I just never got it. It wasn't for me. Most Mel Brooks films, including...
You've said that before.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I've watched some of Blazing Saddles, you know, not all of it. Anything real Mel Brooks other outside than... Did he do Men in Tights?
He did. He did not do Monty Python, though.
Monty Python wasn't...
no, Monty Python.
Mel Brooks?
Monty Python was Monty Python.
Okay, fine. Same, but fine. I'm putting that in
Same
there,
category, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I never understood Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I mean, when we were in 8th grade, we were doing the school play, and it was, you know, grades 6 through 12. And we were doing a thing called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, and you have all these different characters. And someone was like, what if we do this Monty Python character? And the director was like, that is the funniest fucking thing, because he was a fan of it. And it fell on deaf ears to me. He's like, just they did this whole character. I'm like, I don't get what the fuck I just saw. Crowd laughed. I'm like, whatever.
Huh?
I didn't get it. Yeah, for real. That's how I felt. So, I don't know. It's the same way with Monty. I just never got into any of the shit. So, that's personally.
Yeah, that's fine. My next one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I haven't really given too much insight into a lot of these, but any Rob Schneider movie.
If he's the lead character?
Correct. Lead character.
Okay.
You can do it.
Like
That's fine.
Well, I was going to say, like, he's not too bad in 50 First Dates.
Big Daddy.
This is my good eye. Big Daddy's good. Hip Hop Anonymous. No, I get it.
Never order lamb and tuna fish. Trust me on this.
You must trust me. He did have the one where the male gigolo one wasn't bad. It was okay, but yeah, I get what you're saying. He's not really a lead character kind of guy. I got you. I'm going to put two together here. Matrix movies and Alien.
Oh, what the fuck is right? You just don't like sci-fi. Just put one entry that says sci-fi movies. Call it a day.
No, because I like just a couple few, so I can't say I hate it. It's like saying I hate country music. I love Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, but I fucking hate country music. I hate rap music, but goddamn, Dr. Dre and everybody else is good. But I'm saying you can't be subjective. So I hate a lot of sci-fi movies.
Like
just
the good ones?
I'm selective on what I want to watch. Apparently the good ones.
Do you like Starship Troopers?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I like Super Troopers.
Obviously.
Well, this one will go right into it. 2001 Space Oddity. Add that one to it.
That one, I mean, that is most people, and I don't blame you. Unless you read the book.
Okay.
Unless you read the book, you're not going to, or you're just a big acid head, you'll like it. But
Well, I got 2 left, and I'm going to wait on mine. What do you
holy
got?
shit, I was going to say, I've got like 7 left.
All right, well, fire them off.
Show me the money. Show me the exit sign. Jerry Maguire. I don't care. Who the fuck is Renee Zellweger?
My favorite fucking thing on Family Guy one time was Quagmire can't get a boner, and it's going up near a fan. And he goes, oh, no, Renee Zellweger. And it goes down.
There you go. That'll do it. Any Fast and Furious movie.
I can't say I haven't seen them. I've watched a good amount of them. You've seen one, you've seen all 44 of them.
Yes, exactly. And Hunger Games. I've seen the first one, but I mean, I'm all set. I don't care.
Nope, same here. Didn't give it a shot.
I got 4 left. You want me to do any more? Or you want me to wait? What do you want to do?
Fire off another.
The Scary Movie series.
First one was good. I liked the first because I wasn't ready for it. It's kind of like when they did Not Another Teen Movie. I liked that one. Where
Add that to the list.
I'm getting pussy no matter what, even if it's with a dirty slut. Anyway.
I'll take your word for it.
You never watched it, though, have you? But I bet you watched Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, a lot of that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It makes fun of all that fucking shit, man. It's a good movie.
Fair enough.
But you won't watch it anyway.
Nope.
Scary movie, not bad, but they went way too long and in depth like they always do with some of those movies. There was like 7 of them, I think. It wasn't for me. All right, my last 2. I'll give the first one. Schindler's List. I don't know what you're laughing for.
There's a scene from The Simpsons where Mr. Burns wants to enter a movie competition. He wants to make a movie, so he tells Smithers, get Spielberg. I think he's busy with another project. And he goes, and get me his Mexican non-union equivalent. So it's Senor Spielbergo. And he says, I want you to do for me what Spielberg did for Schindler. And he goes, Mr. Burns, that's El Diablo. He's the devil. He goes, listen, Schindler and I are like peas in a pod. We both were factory owners. We both made shells for the Nazis, but mine worked, damn it.
It's one of those, I didn't watch it as a kid.
Right.
It was anytime you saw it in a movie store, it was a double-decker VHS tape, so you're like, that's out. You know what I mean? You're like, nope, not doing that one. And as I got older and you heard what it was about and you understood, I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't think I need to see that. I'm all right. And everybody's like, but it's a classic. I bet the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like, and someone else told me Requiem for a Dream was a really good movie to watch, and then I was left there really fucked up in my apartment by myself.
Oh, by yourself? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yikes.
If I'm not mistaken, it was either your brother in Crosby or you in Crosby. You're like, you got to see this. It's a good
Probably
fucking
me,
movie.
yeah.
And in the same night, you guys told me to do a line, not TK style.
I know.
You told me to do a line from Dazed and Confused to text to a girl. You should be over here hanging with me instead of hanging with your boyfriend, but that's all right. And she was like, why would you write that to me? And John's like, I thought it was going to work.
I stand by that advice. Tells you right there if you wanted nothing to do with her. It didn't work, so go away.
But I was like, you shouldn't be hanging with your loser boyfriend or some shit like that. And she's like,
Yeah, you probably botched
why
the
would you say?
line.
I'm like, no, it was a text. But also, she's probably sitting right next to him.
Probably.
No, I was like, this is John Crosby, by the way. All right, what's yours?
All right, I got a couple more. I got 4 more, so I'll do 2, and I'll pass it back to you. Scream. Again, I've seen the first one. I don't care anymore. I mean, I guess it was semi-clever, But, I mean, other than that, I don't need... It's like Halloween. I don't need 18 of them. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I'm all set with that. Pretty Woman.
Like, how many times could this one fucking woman be chased around by the same goddamn killer? It's either she's dead or he's dead.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Pick one. Let's move on with our lives.
Yes. But then I heard you say Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I had a thing, listen, I think most kids, well, my age, 'cause I'm 20 years older than you, had a thing for Julia Roberts when we were younger. But even still, I'm big mistake. Huge.
Yo, you realize you just fucked everybody in the city? Like, that's basically, he literally bought a prostitute, fell in love with said prostitute and all of her diseses. And they live happily, not ever after, because they both died.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he probably was thinking, like the combination of all those diseases would probably kill the gerbil in his ass. So, topical.
All right. Are you done?
I got 2 more. I got 2 more, so I can finish off, and you can go last.
I got one.
All right.
I have 2 now.
Okay.
As I realized, I have the one. I'm going to hold it. But let me ask you: do you have any interest in watching Beverly Hills Cop Axel F?
No.
I'm going to tell you something. I had the same feeling, and then someone I trust gave a review on it, and I had it on in the background. It actually fits the mold of old school. Has a lot of the same soundtrack. Like the breakdown.
Oh, no shit.
The heat is on.
Yeah.
Like it has all the shit. Of course, you get the. But as much as I fucking hate Joseph Gordon-Levitt and would love to punch him in his face, it's not a bad movie, dude. It's actually pretty good. It's on the same action. It's filmed the same way. The music soundtrack is pretty decently the same as it used to be. I watched Coming to America 2 and wished I didn't.
Yeah.
This one, they did a good job with this. And you got everybody back. You got Taggart. You got Billy Rosewood. Oh, my God. Fucking Aquafoley, Serge. He's in it. I'll be honest with you. Everybody, it's... Other than Taggart looking like they actually grabbed him from out of the fucking dirt where he had died. Like, he looks deathly. But other than that, honestly, I think you should give it a shot. I want you to give it a shot. Just in the background, I think you'll enjoy it.
We'll make it a movie of the week.
There you go. I'll be honest with you. Even the jokes were hitting. I was like, shit, this is old school 80s. Like, this isn't Beverly Hills Cop 3. We're kind of in 2-ish. I'd say 2.
What does this have to do with movies you refuse to watch?
I had a feeling you would refuse to watch that. That's why I brought it up.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, now that we've gone through that.
What do you got?
I'll give you my last 2. Beaches.
Some say love. Is that the one? Or no, is that the...
Wind Beneath My Wings.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? No, I never watched it.
Yeah.
I would never watch anything with Bette Midler.
And Passion of the Christ.
Ugh, I watched that in the theater. Deeply regretted watching that one at all, let alone a fucking big-ass screen with surround sound. That was rough. My ex-girlfriend was like, do you want to go see it? I mean, topical, right? Everybody's talking about the movie. And you're watching it, and you're like, I feel like I just witnessed a murder. I'm an accessory to Jesus' death. Oh, my God. That's the whole point, is we all are an accessory to our sins killed him. We have to go. Thanks for listening to the Top of Wrestling Podcast. I'm just kidding. It was a fucked up movie. You never watched it?
No.
Or you completely refused?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I know the story of
Not
Troy.
one of Mel Gibson's finer moments. I would give you that.
Right.
My final one, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That could have been on my list, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I thought you were going to give me shit for that one.
No. I love Tim Curry,
like
but
I didn't.
You know.
Yeah, it's funny because when people are like, he died recently, didn't he?
I think he died a while ago.
All right, but when everybody's like, "This is the Tim Curry I think of," I'm like, "Nah, I think of Home Alone Tim Curry. That's just me. Sorry."
Clue.
You know, that or a couple other things.
Or Legend, yeah.
That or he was in the movie Oscar with Sylvester Stallone. Horrible fucking comedy movie, but really great at the same point. But now, I don't know. I when I was younger, if I saw anything, I didn't get it. I didn't understand what I was seeing. And as I got older, I was just like, I'm good. I think I got it. I'm fine. So yeah, that's my list, man. I actually kept it kind of light. I realized not many things I did hate, but it's a lot of them they insist upon themselves. They do.
Did you get a phrase of the day calendar? Is that it?
Nah, it's from Family Guy. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for listening to the Top of Wrestling podcast. I am the Professor. Next week, man, we got a top topic that we both heavily agreed on, I think. But it's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about from when this wrestling podcast started and to where we're at today. Where's wrestling? Who's still around? Who's not? A lot of people were exiled from the wrestling community for being basically a piece of shit, a racist, a rapist, whatever you want to fucking call it. So things have changed since 2019. We're going to gander back and take a look at where we're at now. But also next week, we will have, of course, the Monday Night Wars. We will also be talking about bring us to the table, other stuff. Anyway, hey, I'm the Professor. We'll see you next week. Jeez, I lost it. I lost the train of thought, man. Look, it's been a long-ass day. The chicken nuggets are flowing like wine. And I bid you a farewell. He'll at least have, hopefully, better thoughts than I do.
Probably not, but thanks, Professor. You always make these jokes about, oh, yeah, I didn't watch Star Wars. I was too busy getting laid, which we all know isn't true, but let's say that it was. I'm going to let you in on I'm going to let you in on
I didn't say
secret.
It was with a person.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I watched those movies and got laid. Or did I?
Dick suck my own, did I?
See you next week, folks. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM, the Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks. That works for me. Topic, yeah. How many did you have, you said?
I have an honest question for you.
Sure.
A very honest question.
Okay.
And I need you to tell me right now.
I need to know.
The top topic for next week.
Top topic for next week, yes.
Is that you or me?
Wrestling. It was you.
I put.
It wasn't me. I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Jesus Christ! Now I. Oh my God, I lost.
What is going on? Are you having a mini
A
stroke?
lot. Honestly, I wish. I lost it forever. Lost it.
What'd you lose?
My dignity at this point.
Marbles?
Man, I had it. I don't know where the fuck it went. All right, well, I'll look for it while you're talking about the wars. All right, here we go. We'll go silent.
Fuck it, we're live. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing it.
No,
We're not doing
I need it
We're
for
not.
editing.
I know.
Hang on.
All right.